welcome back to Dukascopy TV. It's Monday, you're joining us fresh for another batch of exclusive interviews. Now, with the worst of the economic recession over, what happens in economic recovery? Nelson Piena of IMC Consulting is in the studio with me now to discuss this further. Nelson, thank you so much for coming in today.
Hello, good morning, Natalie, for having invited me. I'm very pleased to be here.
Not a problem. Now, recent figures out of Europe have begun to indicate that the worst of the recession is over and we're perhaps heading into economic recovery. Are these signs of perhaps economic health starting to be reflected in your own clients' results?
Yes, you're talking about Europe, Natalie. We have to make a difference what kind of Europe we are talking about, because we have different Europes within Europe. And I think we have to talk about what kind of region, the south, the center, the west, east, what kind of countries, what's the liquidity situation of the clients, and if the clients have done their homework nicely since 2009. This is where we see, assuming that the crisis was done also by first level, the financial crisis, I would say the monetary crisis, and also the structural crisis in certain countries, for instance, like Greece, like Spain, like Ireland. I think this has an effect on our clients today. And if considering that our clients, usually around 80% have a spread of 100, 1,000 employees, they have obviously very different needs than if you are a startup or you are a multinational like Nestle, whatever. And I think we see a very positive trend, okay, particularly in Central Europe, the Germanophonic countries, Switzerland, Germany, Austria. We see a good trend, positive trend in the Nordics, and very prevalent might be in Holland, in the UK. I see there is still some struggling in South Europe, for instance, in Spain, in Portugal, in Italy. We have seen a nice, constantly good trend in Turkey, which has huge potential. And this makes very different or difficult to tell you where do we have a huge trend or a single trend overall. And I think we have to be very careful here. We see that also the banks, the financial situation, how banks have been integrated in the recovery phase, how the countries has been involved also by pushing investors in or pulling investors in. We see here different approaches with different impacts and effects. I've been in March, April, it was in Ireland. And I was very impressed how the Irish government, the Irish Connect Ireland organization is really trying to bring investors in. And we were part of it, the same in Spain. And for instance, in Switzerland, we do support the Swiss GE or OSEC worldwide in a very operational way to support Swiss clients to do their job. So this is the reality. So we have not a trend, we have different trends depending on the history and how the current economy influences our clients.
So you touched there on specific countries, but which sectors do you see performing well at the moment?
Yeah, sectors, I would say energy. It's very, very interesting. We see a lot of investment opportunities also from Asia, from North America, pharmaceutical, life science, biotechnics, and also in investment goods related to precise machinery, automotive, for instance, or in Switzerland or Germany, where these goods are needed for Asian or American or for South American companies to produce their own goods. So this is where we see a good positive trend.
With the worst of the recession perhaps over and as we enter this new stage of economic recovery, are you instructing your clients to re-strategize in order to maximize gains? And if so, then how?
Yeah. As previously said, Natalie, I think it's really depending on the basic structure of our clients, if they have done their homework well. And by this, it's really very important that they have been able to, I would say, reposition themselves on the market, that they were able to take the advantage of the growth the BRICS had over the last 5, 6, 7 years, so at the beginning of the 2007, 2006. and also optimizing their process, optimizing also their innovation process. And we see here a different development. How we to support them. I think, contrary to the classic consultancy, you mentioned consultancy. I think we consider ourselves rather business advisors. And where is the difference between a business advisor? I think we really, due to our profiles, we are all entrepreneurs. We have been at sea level for many years, so we do understand. We do understand where the client is, because we were there. We are dirty of the job. And so we really try to be on the side of the client from the beginning till the end, depending on which business lines we are. We have 5 business lines, so merchant acquisitions, very pure corporate finance, where our main objective is really to support the client to go through the whole chain, not only just to be a broker to find the money, but also to implement the whole process of a joint venture. To be local, just imagine I don't know, a German or a Swiss company or a British company wishing to go to India, to South America, to China. It's a different culture. It's a different culture. So it's really very important that you have somebody locally who understands the environment, who understands the pitfalls. So we really try to support the client, for instance, in finding out distributors, key accounts, locations, dealing with the government, licenses, legal services, tax services, with our own leadership, so interim management, human capital management. And I think this is where we really can offer, or are offering a client a full service, which is really needed. Yeah.
Now, within this business advisory idea, as you suggested, I know that a large amount of your work goes towards supporting growing businesses. What challenges do you think still faces businesses in these sort of early stages?
I think we have to separate this, the question at 2 levels. Okay, we have from our own perspective as a business advisor, because we deal with clients, we deal with human beings, we deal with very common with managers and leaders, and they are in a huge pressure. And sometimes managers and leaders under these circumstances, they're focused on very, very narrow objectives, so not long term. And when you are under pressure, you take decisions only on the short term. And you cannot build that relationship on the long term just by this. And we really have to be very careful that these clients have good leadership on board, because this is our main objective: leadership, process performance, profit and growth. And leadership, it's a key to have good leaders in the company, to have good board members. They are not just sitting around, but they are taking decisions, they are taking commitment, they are taking responsibility. And I think supporting the clients in developing together, the client usually never gets just a book to implement. We develop the strategy with them, we develop the position, we do afterwards with them if they are requested. So it's really very important about leadership. Then also to respect, I would say, the client relationship in a very qualitative way. I have seen companies, they consider a client just as a cash cow. A client is not a cash cow. From a personal point of view, it's a relationship you have been building up. And I think also in the crisis, companies who were able to create a strong relationship, a win-win situation, a partnership with the client, and also with employees. Okay, we are talking about human capital. Okay, how many companies are considering their people a human capital? And if you really stick during the crisis in this aspect, this has an impact when it effectively counts. So we really try to support the clients to go there. So not every client has this approach, and a lot of clients, they have more dreams than visions. And to work with dreams, this is nice, but you really have to have a vision which works, which communicates, which influence, which bring people together, which accept the clients to follow you. Okay. And sometimes objectives are not very realistic, or sometimes they don't understand the local market. So this is from I would say, from a business advisory point of view. The challenges I see for the clients who really didn't do the homework over the last 4 or 5 years, it's really that they really understand that change has changed. Things which worked nicely in the 80s and the 90s don't work anymore. Our business has become global and global and global. It's very fast. You have to be absolutely market-focused, client-focused, and really build that partnership, alliances, joint ventures, and to expand. It's a unique chance today to do business. And I think if a company doesn't see this, they will fail. And this is our job. This is our job to solve these challenges with the client.
Nelson, thank you so much for coming to the studio. Great insight there.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
That's all we've got time for right now, but don't go away. We've still got plenty more coming up for you right here at Dukascopy TV. Goodbye for now.